Hi everyone, this is a tutorial on how to do this one right here, arithmetic and geometric sequences. So I want to point you first to our blog, which has an explanation of arithmetic sequences and an explanation of geometric sequences. And at the bottom they have these handy little formulas on how to calculate these, which I will be using. All right, so get a little lost in the explanation, you can always look at that. All right, first, what are these? An arithmetic sequence, that's super simple. Did you ever count by fives? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, and each time you're going up 5, right? These are all going up plus 5. So you skip counted. A lot of people learned how to do multiplication that way. How about when you were playing hide and seek and you said 10 seconds ready or not, and you said, count it out loud, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and you were going down by 1 each time. Okay, that was actually an arithmetic sequence. So you were a mathematician playing hide and seek and you didn't even know it. All right, so when something changes by adding or subtracting, we call that an arithmetic sequence. So we're using pretty simple arithmetic to get that. That's an arithmetic sequence. That's terrible writing, I apologize. A geometric sequence is a little bit different in that it changes by either multiplying or by, for instance, if we took 5 and then we multiplied it times 5, we said 5 times, let's multiply it times 4. 5 times 4 would give us 20, right? And then if we took 20, then if we took 20 times 4, that would give us 80. And if we took 80 times 4, that would give us 320. All right. On the other hand, if we said, let's start with 120 and we divide by 2. So now remember, if we divide by 2, all right, so that's the same as multiplying times 1/2. All right, so if we took 20 times a ratio of 1/2, so half of 20 is 60, half of 60 is 30, half of 30 is 15. So each time we're multiplying by 1/2. All right, so when we're multiplying by a ratio, all right, in this case the ratio was 4, and in this case the ratio was 1/2, which is why things got smaller. All right, so when we're using a ratio, that's a geometric sequence. All right, let's go to work here. Erase all. Okay. All right, so here's our sequence. It says find the 35th term. All right, so the first term is 311, then 305, and then 299. All right, and so, and it's dot, 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 and it says find the 35th term. Okay, so we're going to use a formula that is right here for these at the bottom. Okay, and so in this case, it says, the formula says to find the 35th term. All right, so that's our 35 goes right there. That's going to be equal to the first term plus the difference times 35 minus 1. All right, so there's our 35 goes right in here. All right, now we just need to know, here's our first term, and this is the difference. All right, so what's our first term? Well, that's pretty easy. It's 311. All right, and then I notice this is going down, and it looks to me like it's going down by 6. -6, -6. All right, and so our difference is -6, and we're going to multiply it times 35 minus 1. All right, so there we are. Our 35th term is going to be, go over here to our calculator. We're going to take 300, whoops, I'm going to clear it first. There we go. Okay, so we're going to take 311 and we're going to subtract 6 times, you can say 35 minus 1, but I know you can do that in your head. That's 34. So we're going to put in 34. And we're going to say enter, and that equals 107. So that means the 35th term, which we say is equal to 107. All right, so we are going to go over here, get rid of this, get rid of that, and we're going to put in 107 and submit answer, and we get a green check. All right, so let's see, what did I do here? So I needed the first term, 311, I needed the difference, minus 6, and I needed this 35. Okay, that wasn't so hard. I didn't do the right thing there. All right, next problem. All right, so this one is 8, 4, 2, ... Well, what's happening here? Okay, it looks to me like we're dividing by 2, or so we have 8 divided by 2 equals 4, and then 4 divided by 2 equals 2. So that's our sequence, and we want the 9th term. Okay, and now this is what I said before. You have to think about this. So you have 8 divided by 2 is the same as saying 8 times 1/2. All right, so our ratio is 1/2. All right, okay. And we want the 9th term. All right, now in this one, we have another, so we want a to the 9th is equal to a to the 1. So again, our first term, all right, and then it's going to be times our ratio, and then we have a power, which is going to be our 9 minus 1. All right, so let's fill in the blanks here. So a to the 9th is equal to the first term. All right, so there's a1 right there, is 8. All right, and then r, I said r was 1/2. All right, and then to the power, I'm going to put a bracket around this instead of a bracket around that. All right, so our r is 1/2, right? So our ratio, r equals 1/2 right here. And we're going to take 9 minus 1, sorry, which is 8. All right, so this is 8 times 1/2 to the 8th power. All right, so we're going to do 8. 8 times 1 divided by 2. Get out from under there. And then I hit this little b here, and say to the 8th power because I want the 9th term, and hit that was dumb, huh? Hey, Mr. Smith, that's dumb. You're supposed to be putting this into the calculator, not into the answer. Yes, I was. Sorry about that. I don't want to redo the whole video just because I made that little mistake. So you're just going to have to put up with it. And 8th times, and we hit enter, and it tells us 0.03125, and it says to the nearest thousandth. Okay, so this is tenth, this is hundredth, and this 1 is thousandths, right? All right, so that means there's our answer right there. All right, so we get rid of this, and now I got to get rid of all this junk I typed in. All right, 0.031. Submit our answer, and we get a green check. Okay, so those are really a lot easier than they look. You just have to fill in the blanks on the formula. And if you go on the blog, it'll show you the two formulas, one for arithmetic sequences and one for geometric sequences. Good luck on that.